off. The one pair is about there. The other pair is there, and I thought I was going to have it off, and it's not. So we'll see just what happens here. This canvas is kind of little. When I got here with it and got that set up, I was mad at myself that I didn't bring a bigger canvas, but my thought was that I might be able to get this size canvas mostly finished, and a bigger one would be a challenge. But this in itself might be a challenge. We'll see. I just want to get my idea here of where things are going. That line there didn't intend to be the spout, but it's turning out that it is the spout. And this is the lid. Lots of ellipses in this drawing. Ellipses are hard for anybody, beginner or an accomplished painter. I'm going to just... I see these flowers as a chunk of dark green right in there. And I see another big chunk of dark green up in here. So I'm not painting petals. I'm painting sections of dark and light. Little spaces, little shapes, actually. That's the shape I see. Some more down here. There's a real light, the light's coming through on that background in there, but down in here, that background is almost the same color as the dark in those leaves. And I'm going to get that in there right now, because if I don't get those darks in, how do I know how light to make the light? How bright to make the brights? It's all related. Everything up there is related to what it's visually next to. Lighter, darker, bigger, smaller. This is all dark in here. When I squint, I go up and around. Let's put this pair in right here. Something like that for now. And I'm trying to be as scribbly as possible. And at this point, I'm not using heavy paint either, because I know that I'm going to go over a lot of this later. I use a little bit of medium. The medium I use is liquid. But I don't use much of it. I try to use as little as possible. This is an interesting shadow up here, and I'm going to get a little of it in there. Flowers come down kind of like right in there. And there's a shadow under that, right under that flower. And I try to tell my students not to paint pot or flower or bowl or whatever it is. Paint little sections of color and value. It's kind of like painting by numbers in a way, because you paint these little things and at the end it turns out to be something recognizable.
I used to buy a lot of paints and things where I just thought it was going to shine.
I haven't got the curve quite right on my spout, but you know what? And another real quick here, so I know where I'm going. Not too bright yet. Should get brighter. That's kind of a lumpy pear. That's good. Maybe it won't look too much like a plastic pear. Got to get these bright colors in next. Since I've gotten most of my darks in there, the next step is the brights. And there's nothing more difficult than painting the shadow side of yellow. And I have all these different dark greens here. I mean, theoretically, on the color chart, it should be purple. That never works really well for me, putting purple over there. I don't know.
What about blue?
Well, then you got green, because you've got, so that's what I'm using, basically. Yeah. I'm just trying to see, I'm trying to see where that line is right here, where the light stops. The problem is the color changes too. So it's tricky in there. She's very good. I'm just going to darken some of my darks instead of lightening the lights.
Well, it's important about space. That's very good.
I don't think that looks much like a leaf, but hopefully it will. Now I don't want that bright white down there. It just came off my brush. But there's no way that light will go around the corner and be on that flower. I just don't think.
So she's going ahead and paying the membership and then getting the discount, which is, it's more.
And this can also very easily become too detailed. I mean, you get going, you know, and it's so tempting to put every single flower in. But like I said, the Jew is not an idiot. He can figure out that if there's a flower, that's another one right beside it. But you just have to really make suggestions. They'll figure out the rest. That's kind of a bright one back there underneath where the light is catching it.
Well, that's the idea.
Well, that might be too bright. I don't know that. It's certainly brighter than anything else I have in here. Okay, if I'm going to have it that bright, then I've got to get it bright down there. And, you know, another thing is sometimes do we really even care what kind of flower it is? If it's pretty and the colors and the values are interesting and if it's pleasing to the eye, there's a flower called artist flower. I haven't used much today at all. I don't see a highlight here, but I want one there. I don't know how much more I'm going to do. Now it needs to sit for at least a day. I need to get my eyes away from it. I might not do it, and I don't know. It needs to sit, and my eyes need to relax, and I need to. Usually, if it needs something, it'll hit you the next time you look at it, or look at it in the mirror.